And I think this is going to be a good one because I think Andy Roddick has done exactly what he said in the press conferences recently. He has closed the gap on Federer. Not that Federer is playing any worse, but Roddick is certainly playing better.
Closed the gap, or is he closing the gap? And that's what we will find out tonight. In my mind, the
closed with a D. Closed the gap, but not thoroughly. There's still a gap there.
He's closing, but he's some distance off. We'll
just
find
semantics.
Out.
We speak the same language differently.
The feeling I get, the things that Andy is working on and getting better at, virtually by the match, are things that Roger has mastered.
Well, Roger's already mastered everything, so that's not a broad statement. What Roddick has improved with the big-time assistance of Jimmy Connors coming on board in his camp is his court positioning. His backhand has steadied and become a bit of a weapon. He's now able to go down the line with that shot where it was definitely a weakness. And he's approaching the net much more confidently and frequently. And that is not going to get it done. He's got to go bigger. Roddick, if he's going to go there in the open court. Federer already at a break point.
Major mistake moving around his backhand, taking himself out of court, going the off backhand, leaving the line open. That's where he's a little short on court positioning savvy. And Roger Federer breaks in the opening game, and that is a blow for Andy Roddick.
That's a tough start for Roddick because that was a message game. And he needed to send a message for himself and for Federer that things are different. Because when you look at their career record, it is just about as one-sided as you'll see for players of this caliber. Federer leads 12 wins against only one loss, and that loss coming back in 2003. You know, at the U.S. Open, Federer got off to a flying start as well in the first set, was putting the beat down on Roddick before Roddick settled and won the second set. But I think Roddick has come a long way since the U.S. Open. He's consolidated those new elements that Connors was adding to his game throughout the summer. And we're going to spend the first little bit of this match talking mostly about Roddick because Federer is just doing what Federer does. I mean, he is in fine form, as good form as I've seen him. You know, Pete, last year Federer had gone 5 sets with Tommy Haas in the round of 16. This year has not dropped a set en route to the semifinals. My opinion, Roddick's going to have to do a little bit more than he's showing so far as dominating the baseline to stay in this with Federer. He's going to have to serve great. I think that's a given. He needs a lot of cheap points on his serve. But he needs to bully Federer. He needs to muscle him around the court. And we certainly saw that last night with Fernando Gonzalez doing that beautifully against Rafa Nadal. And I think the basic premise here is that if you allow this wizard, Federer, the ability to wave his wand, you lose. You have to take that out of his hand. You have to hit winner after winner and take risk after risk and hope it works. Because just playing normal tennis is not going to be good enough.
Federer leads.
I've left you flabbergasted, haven't I?
I'll play catch up.
Roddick's playing catch up right now.
That's the move. Draws the short ball and rifles the forehand from the middle of the court down the line and comes in. But you can't afford to compromise. Anything that's compromised will be dealt with severely and on a very regular basis. And that's one of the things that Roger was able to get away with in the US Open final. He seemed only intent on getting the ball back into play off the big serve of Roddick, because he knew once the ball was in play he'd have a fair chance of getting back into the point. If Roddick serves and volleys, that's not the case. He will be pressed into taking more of a risk on the return of serve, even when returning Roger's first serve, if he's going to be closed out at the point. Wild first serve.
You'll notice where Federer returns the Roddick serve from. There's a look at Jimmy Connors, who brings his intensity that he has on the tennis court into the player's box as well. You'll see him amped up in this match, no question. But when we watch Federer return the Roddick serve, he gives no quarter. He stands up close, and he looks to bunt the ball back a lot, block it. I think he's the best I've ever seen at defensive returning, absorbing the pace and the power. But if Roddick can mix in the serve and volley, that could change it up. Force Federer to do a little bit more with the shots. Roddick holds, Federer with the break, 2-1.
Roger Federer with the early break. Roddick settling down in the third game, holding on to serve at 15.
Find your seat.
Let's just run through a couple of the amazing things Roger Federer has going for him in his career, just to put this in perspective. Federer is gunning for his 7th consecutive Grand Slam final. He is currently tied with the Rocket, Rod Laver, and Don Budge at 6. That is a tie for second place all time. Jack Crawford, 1933 and 1934, had 7. So Federer would tie that with a win here. There's the Rocket, Rodney George, in his house. And Federer is also he's tied his longest career. With a win, it would tie his longest career winning streak. He's won 34 matches dating back to the US Open. This would tie his previous streak, which was in 2005. The all-time record of that is Guillermo Vilas, who's also here. Vilas with 46 wins on the trot in 1977. And how about this? How about, it's just you can just keep going forever with this guy. Federer's won 31 straight matches against American opponents. The last one to beat him was Roddick in 2003. Oh, we can keep going. He's got the all-time grass court match consecutive record right now. He's building on that. Punchline is it's a CV for the ages, and he's just building on it.
30-15.
But Roddick's not playing a record book out there. He's got one opponent to beat, so he's in with a chance here. Federer has not played a bad match that I can recall other than Murray, really, in Cincinnati, his last loss in the summer leading into the U.S. Open.
40-30.
So Roddick will have to yank it from his hands, won't he?
There's no doubt about that. Have to make the play, has to impose himself, but it's a difficult proposition. A couple of unforced errors off the forehand of Rogers this game.
Yes.
Which is the side that can sometimes flare up.
Really?
Did against Nadal in the final of the French. Became rather errant.
Another unforced error and a break point, and I think certainly every player would want to attack
Roddick.
the backhand of Federer, not the forehand. That forehand's probably the most feared shot in tennis. Yeah, good play by Roddick. Attacking and drawing the unforced error, and we're back on serve.
I think there's a difference between playing to and attacking, and I agree it's better to attack to Rogers' backhand, but if you can move the ball around or somehow get at it, as obviously Nadal did at the French, in an area that he didn't like, which was just simply high fizzing topspin forehands, or as I would guess, Murray upset him with a change of pace. That's not the place to go, though, is it?
I will tell you right here, right now, that you talk to Andre Agassi, who's played all the great ones in the last 20, 25 years, and he will tell you he's never seen a forehand like this guy's, and he would avoid it at all costs, if possible. Ooh. Here's a challenge.
He's already challenging
for a
the
challenge.
goal
It
on
did
the
look
right
wide.
center service line. The ball was called out.
And Roddick is prepared to hit a second serve here, and he's going to have to.
Second serve. Second service.
Too good. And Federer baiting Roddick to come to net there with a short slice. Federer played a very crafty point there.
Challenge remaining.
Pushing him deep with some heavy topspin and then going crafty here. This is meant to draw Roddick into the net, and then Federer makes him pay. Wide open cross court, but Roddick is going to have to take that shot and go straight at a line and just take his shot, because Federer's too good if he touches it.
The mistake that Roddick makes is by moving around to hit that forehand to come in. He's moving his body out of court. If you're going to come in, you've got to take that on your backhand so you're positioned to cover the volley.
I don't think that's his game, though, Jay. I think his game is to move around and go for a winner there, because he's still not a great volleyer. I don't mind that play from him. I just think he's going to have to redline his game out here. So going in and chipping that shot and hoping that Roger doesn't beat him, that's a losing strategy, too. I would stand by my statement of you've got to take it from Roger. You can't give him the look. But strategically, you're right, but not against Roger.
The evolving of his game is making differentiation between when he should go for the forehand, move around and hit the forehand, and when he should take it on the backhand, strategically hit it and move to the net.
Well, if he's going to take it on the backhand, he needs to back up. He can't take that ball on the backhand and come in. He's going to get burned even worse than on the forehand side.
40-50.
If he gets baited into the net, and he doesn't want to come in, he should chip the backhand and move back. Start it over again. Because Roger wants him to come in. It's a set play by Federer.
Roddick holds, and it's Andy Roddick leading 3-2 in the first set.
Back on serve at 3-2, and Todd Woodbridge is in the bunker.
Thank you, Sid, please.
Interesting start to this match. I have a distinct feeling that Andy Roddick has been knocking on the door against Roger Federer for quite a while now, and this may be the night that he gets through.
He's definitely been closing it, having those 3-match points in their last tour match in Shanghai. Unable to get across the finish line there, but still right at the door.
Yeah, I think that this match tonight, probably the winner's going to come out of it, of this year's Australian Open. Federer knows that, and it's been a long time in major championships where he's gone in under pressure. He's gone in so far ahead of the field, but tonight it's different. We saw him a little nervous last year when he played in the French final against Rafael Nadal. Started terrific and pulled back, and then Nadal got on top. And that could very well happen tonight against Roddick. Because I think Roger knows that Andy's worked really hard to try to make that gap smaller.
Took his eye off of that one.
We saw a bit of that the other night as well against Tommy Robredo. A lot of forehands were shanked, and he does do that a bit, but the conditions are similar again. It's a breeze blowing in here on Rod Laver Arena. Interesting, Jim, that Roger actually tries to open up Andy Roddick by going out wide to the forehand. Most players try to get into Roddick's backhand, but what Roger does is he opens it out with the first hit, gets him on the run, and then tries to get in or hurt him with the backhand.
Federer holds 3-all first set. Well, your comment about Federer attacking the Roddick forehand into the forehand wing is a great observation. It's one that I'm sure he and Tony Roach have discussed. Roddick loves the forehand in his backhand corner, and he doesn't hit a ton of clean winners from that forehand side. He covers the ball more. And what's Federer want? He wants to get control of the rally because he feels like he's got more variety and versatility once he's in a baseline exchange with Roddick. So he wants to stay away. This ball looked awfully long, and Federer doesn't challenge it, by the way. He doesn't really like the challenge. That ball was out. Federer kind of detests it, actually.
Yeah, that's too good. I do like the way, though, that Andy's trying to keep on coming forward, using his forehand to approach into the net. You know, he got the break back by, you know, the forehand coming into the Federer backhand saying, can you pass me? And he couldn't. So he's stepping up and saying, I'm going to play aggressive, Roger.
Well, that last point is the serve that I was just thinking that Roddick needs to employ more against Federer. The cannonball at the body, that was 219K.
Well, he got the result here, didn't he? But he dumped the forehand into the tape, but he was in perfect position there.
Right. Well, look how close Federer is to the baseline for Roddick's massive serve. He's right up on top of it. So Fed is able to cut off the angle in the deuce court. That's why he hit that nice forehand winner. If you go at his body, you might back him away.
Well, that was a good play again. Just chip it in, attack the backhand, make the world number one come up with the pass.
First time I saw Roddick play a tour match was against Pete Sampras in Miami, 2000. He hit Sampras in the chest with a first serve. Federer, unforced error, and Roddick holds serve. 4-3, Jimbo's pumped. So Federer steps to the line with new balls, serving 3-4 in the first set. His first men's semifinal. There's going to be a quick challenge.
The left baseline, the ball was scored out.
That ball looked like it skidded off the line with the bounce. Let's take a look. And indeed it did. So that's going to be a replay.
You don't reckon that Roger likes hook right now? That would have been 4-3, love 15 down.
No, I don't think he's. I still don't think he likes it.
Well, then he shouldn't have used it.
You're right.
He put his hand up pretty quick there.
Yeah.
I was just about to make comment on what I thought Andy Roddick had improved so much over the last, let's say, 5 months since working with Jimmy Connors, and it's his backhand, in particular the backhand return. Coming into the court far more aggressively. He's actually getting what I would say through the hitting zone better, making better contact. Before he was a little bit sort of using the left wrist too much to kind of hook the ball in.
That's a fourth ace of the match for Federer. That's an Amex ace, $100 to Kids Tennis Foundation. For every ace, Roddick still looking for his first ace. And that's a credit to Federer's defensive skills on the return. Well, comfortable hold for Federer, and he's used that forehand that we've talked about pretty well at times. And he's also made some mistakes, but overall, Todd, this is a beautiful swing.
Well, look, the leverage of the racket there, and it just whips up through over the shoulder. Just take note of how long he actually keeps eye on the ball before he looks forward to see where the ball has gone.
And he doesn't always lasso the ball overhead like that. So most of the time he drives it right across his opposite shoulder. He was clearly spinning the ball a lot on that one.
Question for you. Do you think that Jimmy Connors has told Andy Roddick to take maybe 10% off his first serve?
15 off.
I mean, that's well, not there, and that was 230.
That's his first ace as well, biggest serve of the match.
He's serving at 75%, and a lot of his serves are around 202, 205. They're still pretty strong, but he's not up around the 230s often, and I think that seems a deliberate ploy.
15 off.
Well,
because he hasn't been serving as many aces throughout this tournament as you would have expected from him.
Well, in the only match that Roddick defeated Federer, he was more effective on Federer's second serve. He won more points on Federer's second serve than he gave up on his own. Every other match, Federer's got the better end of that. Federer does better on the second serve. He's winning 50% of the points now when Roddick hits a second serve in. And Federer's winning 56 on his own second serve, so he's still in the positive there. second serve so far in this match. Federer has given him 9 looks. But this is just a beautiful shot. And how the approach is just not good enough, is it, Todd?
No, a bit too short. And because he came up with topspin, the ball bounced up and Roger had time to pick which direction he wanted to hit it. If you're going to approach from there, you probably got to try to flatten it just a touch to get it deeper.
Strategy for Roddick. That's not the right time to try a slice approach, because even if it's a good one, Federer's going to have a crack at it.
And that's not his best shot either, that backhand. So, yeah. Well, it was the wrong choice, and it's given Roger Federer break point.
And both of these guys a perfect 1-for-1 when they've had break point opportunities. And he secures another break, and he'll serve for the first set when we come back. Wow, that's impressive stuff.
Well, there's plenty more of that great tennis to come. Roger, he just steps it up when he needs to.
Roger serving for the first set, 5-4.
First service.
Just too solid, isn't he?
Well, as you'd expect, he's tensing up wildly, serving for the set. And it's a routine. It's what he expects to do. 3 set points. And with an ace, just 198. In 33 minutes, Roger Federer, 6-4. The world's #1, playing like the world's #1 should. And nobody does it more elegantly or effortlessly than Roger Federer. Graceful in physical movement, graceful in demeanor. Andy Roddick up against it again. Looking for his second win.
When these guys played in Kooyong just a few weeks ago in the finals of that exhibition, it was a very breezy day, and Federer chose to serve and volley the bulk of the match on his side. That's an unusual tactic for Federer. It's not that he's not capable of it, but he's more comfortable at the baseline, seemingly. But it was breezy, and afterwards he was asked why he chose that tactic, and this is how Roger Federer thinks about Grand Slam preparation. He says, listen, my timing's been pretty good, and I felt like if I stayed at the baseline, I might screw my timing up because of the wind. So I wasn't willing to do that. I got to be ready for Monday. That's the mind of this champion. Everything that is non-Grand Slam related is all pointed to a Grand Slam.
danced up to that almost casually, knowing that he had 2 or 3 plays that would certainly reward him with the point. The net not being kind to Andy for sweeping backhand, the head remaining constant at the point of impact. And Andy giving the look like he's seen it one time too many.
Andy's frustrated, no doubt. And why wouldn't he be? Serving up near 70% first serves, and he's still been broken twice.
And facing break point, first game of the second set, and this is a crucial time for him. He concedes with an error. He's frustrated, and Federer is racing away now. Set and a break.
And the first set, Federer controlling play with the slice and then rifling that forehand. He really did move Roddick around a lot by employing the short slice. Roddick not doing enough with the approaches and paying that price. Beautiful return, leaning on it. And Federer just has so much variety. He can just hurt you in so many ways. And finishing with the ace.
The second last point, another example of Roddick moving out to his left, in fact from the sideline, then hitting an off forehand.
15.
Getting himself out of position when he's trying to take the net position.
I'm just not going to let that go, are you?
No, because I'm right.
No, that's the modern game, J.A. That's the way it's played today. Roddick throwing his left shoulder away so early on this shot, and he's rattled, and it's expected that he would be rattled with this scenario, but watch his left shoulder just leave. I mean, he's gone before that ball even touches his racket. And Federer has him on a string right now. Wide serve, flick backhand, routine.
Federer challenging the call on the left center service line. The ball was called out.
And if you haven't been watching our coverage, if you're just tuning in to the tournament late, this is new this year, a Hawkeye official review system, and Federer challenging that and gets the call overturned to hold serve. Players get 2 incorrect challenges per set, so if Federer was wrong in that case, he would only have one more time where he could be wrong before he would not be allowed to challenge for the remainder of the set until a tiebreak.
And if you haven't been watching, welcome back to Australia.
Oh, that's just not fun. Oh, that's not fun for Andy Roddick. I'll tell you, that is a lot of fun for Roger Federer. He's saying thanks to the crowd. That's a golf thing. You don't see players reference the crowd.
He's almost apologizing for his good luck at guessing and coming up with a win that he didn't really think he'd have on that point.
I have never seen a tennis player thank the crowd in a match of this import. Not during the match.
Desperate moves, third and volleying on the second ball. Desperate men do desperate things. And he cannot make a mark on Roger. Hasn't laid a glove on him to this point. Sheer frustration.
Match, we talked about Roddick closing that gap and just improving as a tennis player, which he no doubt has. He's played some fantastic tennis since Connors has come on board, making the finals of the U.S. Open, pushing Federer to the brink in Shanghai at 3 match points. But in this match, Federer is breaking his spirit right now.
Federer goes for the open court, courtesy of Roddick. He leads 3-love. Second set. Very best. He's played some solid tennis all tournament, but tonight he is exhilarating to watch.
He was a perfect 4 for 4 on break points. And the numbers are running well in his favor. 22 winners to 7 unforced errors. It's just, this is clinical. You know, Federer is so in Roddick's head right now. Roddick can't do anything. He's not thinking clearly either, J.A. The strategy's gone awry.
He's rattled. He's shaken.
Last year, 2006, Federer nearly the perfect Grand Slam season. One match short of completing the Grand Slam, losing only to Nadal in the French Open final. And remarkably, in the 27 other victories he had, he was never remotely in danger of losing. Nobody was up 2-0 or 2-1 on him, or up a break in the 5th. He was never looking at departing. And that's absolutely astounding. I'll have to ask the Rocket, Rod Laver here, and maybe you know this answer, but if you don't, I'll ask the Rocket sometime in the next couple of days. If in the years that he won his Grand Slams, which he did twice, how many times he was on the brink of defeat, how many times he was down in the match, how many times he was close to going out and came back?
I can tell you about a few of them.
Talking about something, because this is going quickly.
Well, there's a chap around here, and you'd know Martin Mulligan. Martin Mulligan, in 1962, in the French,
before the match,
had match point on him. And Laver missed the first serve, and in the book that Rod wrote, The Education of a Tennis Player, he talked about his reasoning and what he would do on the second serve, and he chose to serve and volley, and he picked the right way. Saved the match point.
Credit to Rod Laver, who is the greatest player in my mind that we've ever seen, just because you can't do 2 Grand Slams and lose 6 years of your opportunities and not be. Federer is playing against the deepest field anyone's ever seen. The top 100 players now are better and deeper than we've ever seen in history, because there's so many different countries competing, and the information is there, and the players all want it. It's professional. There's a good living to be earned out here. For him not to be remotely in danger in these tournaments, and he's not been even close to danger here, obviously he's not dropped a set, is just a jaw-dropping thought. Because these guys are good. I mean, I've seen some incredible tennis from some of these players in this tournament. And this guy's, I mean, he's very, very likely to win his 10th major.
Laver's 2 Grand Slams were very different. In 62, he only lost 3 other matches, 2 to Roy Emerson and 1 to a 17-year-old German junior by the name of Ingo Buding. In 69, he only won 1 other tournament, the US Pro Championship. He won that under great duress because he was threatened by Mary, his wife, and about to be the mother of his child. If he didn't turn up for the berth, it was all over. But the true champion, he won the event, got back for the berth, and then won the US Championship a couple of weeks later. The man had it all.
Yes. Roddick continues to force the issue here, J.A., refocusing on what we're seeing. Roddick, that was his 20th approach to the net. Federer's only been in 6 times, but guess what? Federer's won 5 of his 6. Roddick's only won 7 out of 20. That is a horrendous ratio. I'll do credit to Federer, who's beating him with passing shots. That is unbelievable.
7 out of 20 is probably better than what he's doing in the baseline duels. He had Roger so far out of court with that beautiful angle topspin forehand here, and then Roger takes him back even wider, and then he's forced to go for broke. And again, he is having trouble with the IRS.
Andy likes to play poker. He enjoys it, and he's just got to feel like any time he lays down a pair, Roger's got a higher pair in hand. Yeah.
And it's almost, Andy is so frustrated by the time he gets to the net with the difficulty of the volley that he's then encountering. There was an amount of frustration as he approached that volley. And now double break point to go down love 5 in the second set. Roger has won every single break point.
Unbelievable. Federer.
The frustration is enormous.
Losing.
He slammed his racket, the ball out, the racket's come out of his hand. It's gone near a photographer. Andy is just beside himself. It is 5-love. Andy Roddick has just exploded, imploded, and is so regretful for this incident. He was just trying to bash the ball somewhere towards St Kilda and had lost it so badly. The racket came out of his hand accidentally. He apologised. He has been reprimanded. Federer serving at 5-love.
These guys are playing their 14th match, and the record is 12-1 for Federer, but there's only been one bagel set, one 6-love set, and that was Federer winning in Bangkok 6-4, 6-love in the finals. That was 2004. It was a while ago. But it's certainly, this is a big setback for Andy Roddick right now, mentally. This has got to be crushing him.
Could be a bit of a setback for Tommy Haas and Fernando Gonzalez.
No, I don't think so. They're the other semifinal. That's tomorrow night. That's going to be a terrific matchup. Those guys are playing the best tennis they've ever played. This is a huge opportunity for them. They know this guy's good. This isn't shocking. I don't think it surprises them that Federer can play at this level. I think they're probably surprised that Roddick is not playing up to the challenge at this point. I'm actually very confused at the strategy that Roddick is implementing in this match, because I've not really seen a clear, concise plan. It's been sort of haphazard. Maybe I'll go with his forehand, maybe I'll go with his backhand, maybe I'll serve and volley, maybe I won't, but there hasn't been a bulldoggedness to it, if that's a word. that I expect.
Churchillian word.
Is it? Well, that's what Jimmy Connors brings to the table.
Weak forehand I was saying about Jim.
Yeah. That was a semblance of something there.
Thank you.
You know, Roddick picked on the backhand about 7 consecutive shots there before he went to the forehand, so that at least there was some thought process there.
And Andy Roddick, now down set point, has not to this point ever lost one set in a Grand Slam event, 6-love.
Absurd. This guy's just on a different
now. And Roger Federer leads 2 sets to love.
Number 1 continues his steady march in the Australian Open without the drop of a set. And Roger Rashid, your thoughts on the proceedings thus far?
Well, what can we say, Jim? And great expectations, and it started off to looking like it was going to be a fantastic match. And right now, though, Roger Federer has done some amazing things to break down the Roddick game, and he looks like a man that's got no answers.
Well, if you're coaching him, what does he do here to get it back on track?
Well, first of all, he's got to think, let's start the match off again. Here it is. It's the first set of the match. I'm serving first. I've got to take care of the points individually and get through my service games. Go about the same mentality that I had at the start of the match and see if I can put myself in front on the scoreboard. I think his game plan is not too bad, but at the other end you've got a magician who can wave the wand and can destroy anybody's game plan. And
I've
Roger,
been scratching my head trying to figure out what Roddick's game plan is here exactly. What are you seeing? What do you think it is? Because I can't quite get a handle on it.
it's a bit of a man charging type of mentality. And whenever he gets the ball, he's trying to hit and come forward. Sometimes I think he's been coming forward on the wrong option and allowing Roger to just move across swiftly as he does and put a shot on it. And then therefore, Andy's coming in not in a positive position. And too many times we've already seen Andy drop volleys in the middle of the net. Two great points here again, and Roger's just a steam train going in at the moment. Too much of this, balls that have just allowed Roger to step up on the court and take the ball on the rise, and that's been an issue as well. I'd like to see Andy go back behind the player a fair few times, push Roger around a bit.
Way, and he's up a break. And let's take a look at the second set highlights. There will not be much in the reel here for Andy Roddick. This is a ridiculous shot. I mean, how does he play that one? That was crazy. Federer just had it all working. And that's the kind of volley you're talking about where he should be putting that away, Raj, and there's no stick to it.
I just feel like he's coming in too many times, and he's getting burnt now at the net. So the whole mentality from their camp was obviously to come in and force Roger Federer. Now, when it doesn't work, maybe mix it up a little bit. There's too many times now. There's too many options for him. And what Roger's using beautifully is the off-pace ball, the slice shot, giving no pace and saying, Andy, OK, make your own play. At the moment, it's not working. It's hurting him.
Yep.
And when you've got to make your own play, that's hard to do. Now, you've got to remember here too, Jim, Roger Federer, when he wins the first set at an Australian Open, he's 32-1. All time on Grand Slams, he's 108-4. His win-loss. So, not a lot of opportunities here.
Well, if you start looking at the Federer CV, his resume, before a match, you're going to freeze up a little bit.
And there's the area 6 months ago
15
was the weakness of Andy Roddick, and it seems to be haunting him here. The mid-court range coming forward, knowing what to do in that area, in that environment. He has not been able to accept the responsibility here tonight and challenge Roger. Double fault there from Roger Federer, his second now. Jim, you might have thought the 6-love set was, everyone at home thinking 6-love. Wow. Last year in Grand Slam tennis, 10 times Roger Federer won sets 6-love. And in the men's game, as you know, that's brutal. That's a good stat.
That's brutal. Well, Roddick had never lost a slam set 6-love until just now. In at 15:30, thought he had a look there to creep back in, and
this has been a masterful display, though.
Yeah.
Everything that Roger has touched since the first set, since he got that set, has been magic. And I didn't like the hype that was around Roddick coming into this match. The gaps closing.
Scary. Did you think
that's scary?
Do you think that the hype is hurting Roddick? Do you think that it put pressure on him?
Yeah, look, no, it didn't put... this is a fantastic rally, and when I say scary, I mean to do this shot and let it drop and stop, as he did, was ridiculous. He gave Roger some fuel.
Yeah,
it gave him some excitement.
So if it did fuel the fire for Federer, I still want to ask you, do you think it's true? Do you think that Roddick has closed a little bit the gap?
Well, you can look at a couple of results, but, let's take a look here.
You wouldn't want to look here if you're Roddick.
So if you go on results...
This is the Grand Canyon.
This looks like the gap's just widened again.
Yeah.
Now, Jimbo, in Grand Slam tennis, if Roger Federer wins this match, he joins one special man on 118 wins. And that man, my friend, is Jim Courier.
Might have to take him out in this interview afterwards. He's going to challenge that one.
He's challenging the call on the left.
Something tells me he might just clip me in that record in every other department as well. And Roddick is not pleased. That is a good challenge. Federer's having a pretty good night with the challenges after really not having a ton of success earlier in this tournament. Less than 50% success rate for him. Roddick gets the point anyway.
So interesting stuff there. But Roger Federer's tennis, the way he's gone about it, he hasn't played like he did at Kooyong. He's come out and played completely different in my books.
And he beats him with that one. That is just stunning.
Now, the great Ken Rosewall, he would have lifted the hands and clapped to that. Now, that is a classic. There's only two players I know that played this shot in the men's game currently. One's this man, and the other one is Leighton Hewitt. They find a way to thread the needle on the stretch. That was going to be a tricky little ball there. And here's another one for you, Jim. I've come up with a few tonight. I'm fast and I'm pumped up. But the last 4 players to beat Andy Roddick have all lost in the final of the Australian Open.
Really? Roddick gets on the board. It's been a long time between drinks for him. Federer up 2-1 and keep bringing those stats. I love it.
This is brilliant.
Let's take a break.
Change of ends delivered to him by the staff. He's changed his colour of shirt. Anything. Try to change his luck. He needs to change his opponent.
That's not going to happen. Federer's going to keep coming. We've only seen the one hiccup, and that was in the first set where he was broken with a couple of unforced errors. And it really wasn't Roddick's doing.
Federer challenging the left center.
As we see another challenge by Federer. Now, Federer basically broke himself in the first set. And that is touching. That's an ace. Everything going the way for Federer tonight.
That is incredible. 6 millimeters. And Andy trying to get the lines person to give him a high five. He even got a knockback there. Hawkeye is against him. Most significantly, he is against Roger Federer, who is playing magically.
Federer just showing the full range of his arsenal here, coming into the net. And he'll attack and quickly pounce on this and just carve that volley. Absolutely backspinning all the way. 40-15. Oh, it's all on for Federer. 3-1, third set.
This is incredible. He is so just unsettled and upset by the way Roger Federer is playing to virtually air swing quite a makeable forehand. Shows you the degree that he has been thrown off tonight. He couldn't even do his block successfully.
And second double fault for Roddick, and his love 30, and there's absolutely zero that Roddick is doing right now that he would be happy with.
Well, we have the advantage of Hawkeye. He should have challenged that second serve because it hit the line.
Even that's not going right.
No, he's just lost it too much.
Roddick will be moving into the top 5 of the world after this tournament, irrespective of the result here.
15.
And he's been on form in the last 6 months of the season. In 2006, he was the second most successful player after Federer. And I have never seen a shellacking like this in the semifinals of a major from a quality player. I mean, it's all on. I mean, whatever Federer touches right now finds the spot, the perfect spot. And this is just a head scratcher for Jimmy Connors. It's got to be. Even Jimmy looks like he's in the headlights.
He suffered a shellacking at the hands of John McEnroe in the final of Wimbledon. When McEnroe was hot, but there was mitigating circumstances in the road that Jimmy had walked to get to the final.
Chris Lewis against McEnroe was beaten by basically the same score as well.
Yes, but Chris, a surprise finalist that year.
Certainly not the caliber of Andy Roddick, who is going down fast. 2 breaks to serve for Federer.
And beaten by Sonny Liston in the World Heavyweight Championships because he was so embarrassed at the shellacking that he received. Randy Roddick might consider that. He's trying to get back into it. You've got to admire Andy for that. He is trying, but things just have not worked out for him since the umpire said play. But when there's no pressure, the passing shot is that much easier. With the score line as it is, this is almost like a practice shot. But look at Andy, nowhere near in position, behind the service line, leaving the line open again. And Roger didn't even have to go to Hawkeye. The umpire overruling and saving the aggravation.
The right baseline. The ball was called good.
And Andy Roddick is questioning it, and he will find that it was in fact a good overall. And yes, Andy, not one single thing is going your way tonight.
Mr. Roddick has one challenge remaining.
Do not go to the casino tonight, Andy.
Roddick is one game from removal, and he's aggravated and confused and all of that.
Well, he's put in so much work and a totally different game that he's implemented. He's practiced, he's trained, he's played tough matches. The match against Antic to get through. I think he was looking forward to the opportunity of playing Andy Roddick playing Roger Federer for the chance to have a win against him. But it has gone pear-shaped.
1 hour and 17 minutes of play.
He has some 15,000 fans here tonight who would like to see him get back into this match. The world's biggest server has been neutralized. Even the serve comes back awkwardly deep, and it's Roddick that's immediately on the defensive, at the mercy of Federer, who has none.
15. 30-15.
Another mistake off that forehand.
Yeah, it's at least two.
Andy Roddick, another chance to win another game. And it's got a sense of inevitability about it, this match. Just asked to play one more shot after he thought he'd won the point once or twice, and it's just too much. It's too much for his mind to cope with. Beautiful, graceful move from Roger. Roddick holds. It's 5-2 in the third set. Well, that was not a bad play. A ripping forehand straight down the line and disposed with a cool arrogance. And the only chance that Andy Roddick has is for Roger to suffer a catastrophic injury.
Highly unlikely.
He could still probably limp over the line as
at this point.
Stefan Edberg did years ago with an injury.
And as you would expect, the statistics of this match are so lopsided, reflecting the score, but I think one is a telling statistic, J.O., and that's breakpoint conversion rate against one of the biggest and best serves in tennis, Andy Roddick's. Roger Federer, a perfect 7 for 7. Everything flawless tonight. Unforced error.
40-15.
It's okay. 44 winners and another match point. We're witnessing history. There is no question about that. This is the most dominant athlete on planet Earth today. Roger Federer in full flight. You have to feel for Andy Roddick. He played a really fine tournament to reach this semifinal, but just not even in the conversation with Roddick today. Oh, Federer today, excuse me.
Supreme in every department of the game. Andy Roddick, he won the hearts tonight. A good bloke out of luck. He'll be back. Roger Federer playing as well as we have ever seen him. Andy Roddick, yes, there were some errors, and that was one of them, moving in from wide in the court, leaving the line exposed. And he was so rattled, even when he had the easy ball to put away, he failed to do so. Again, approaching from wide in the court. Roger Federer, artistic at the net, deadly, not always with power. moment with Jim Courier.
Well, Roger, Andy Roddick came into this tournament with a lot of confidence. He'd played beautifully. He'd taken you out in an exhibition in Kooyong. He beat some great players en route to the semifinals, but you completely dismantled him out here tonight. And I have just one question. Well, I have a lot of questions, but the first one is, why'd you do it?
You know, I'm just happy I won, but I mean, that was seriously now a tough match, and I was really, worried really going into this match, of course, because he's been playing so well, and he was so close to beating me, especially in Shanghai and at the US Open, and Kooyong he played well as well, so I knew it was going to be tough, and I always see, 50 aces going past me, but today that was just not the case. I really picked him up well. I played incredibly well, and I don't know what to say. It's just unreal.
It truly was. Remarkable performance. And so many of us feel like Andy Roddick has made such a big step in his game, and you've said that as well publicly. He's improved a lot in the last 6 months. Did you get up extra for this match because you saw him coming for you?
Absolutely, and that's why I didn't read the papers today. I didn't switch on the TV. And I just tried to focus on, my game. And like I said yesterday, or 2 days ago in the press conference, it's going to be about day form. And just had one of these days where just everything worked, and it kind of was unbeatable. But, Andy's going to get his chances, that's for sure. So I'm just happy I got this one tonight.
Well, try and explain to us here, what does it feel like when everything is going right? I mean, does the ball seem like it's enormous? Does it seem like it's coming slower than usual? We use the word in the zone. How does it feel, if you can describe it?
Look, it's just unreal. It's a joke. I mean, look, I'm shocked myself. I don't know what to say. The tournament's not even over yet, But, so let's not get carried away. Let me try to do it one more time, and then let's get all excited.
We'll do that. Well, this tournament is very much still in play, but you've tied a record that's been long-standing today, and I know you take a look at history. 1934, Jack Crawford made 7 consecutive major championship finals. You tied that record today. How's that feel?
Very nice. Yeah.